What's going on, everybody? It's the Personal Touch Show. We are live and direct, man. Back again for a new episode, super live and direct. I'm Pat Brady, and I am here with
Ron, aka Yoda.
There we go, man. AKA Yoda. We got Yoda, Pat Brady. We're super in the building, man. We appreciate all the love that we've been getting with the Personal Touch Show on our shorts. We got way more coming this week. And if you haven't already, subscribed to the Personal Touch Show as soon as you can. Definitely going to keep everything going with some new episodes and definitely a lot of shorts to keep you going on a daily basis. You did. With that being said, we are here today. I know how we do the show. We got quotes for y'all and a couple subjects. We're going to run down through all those. Y'all pay attention, man. We're going to get right into it. Quote of the day is coming directly from me, direct quote. It's pretty simple, but something you got to really break down. Finding peace during war. And it's no peace without war, it's no war without peace. But you have to really try to find peace in war. And when I say that, you can kind of compare it to being in a real battle. If you are in constant battles, you have to be able to be in a peaceful state to make the right decisions. If you are in wars or in states where you just everywhere in your brain and you're not at a peaceful state in a time of war, it is very easy to go simply off track out of fear, out of, it's war going on. And when I'm saying war, prices are raising, people raising kids in this type of environment, this new world. There's all types of just wild, crazy stuff going on in the world. Your personal self, what I'm saying? How you feel about yourself, what is it? Self-esteem. You have a war inside, mentally, physically. On the inside, it's a war going on mentally and physically everywhere, every minute of the day. And in this war of life, you got to find peace. And the way you find peace is just literally following God's instructions. I'm talking about that's the peace manual. You know what I'm saying? To where you need to go and where you need to be, because you can try to find peace in things. I'm gonna be telling you this: if you try to find peace in things, things are not gonna make things better. I know that sounds crazy, but things don't make things better. God does. God's instruction, His will, His way, and you're not gonna be perfect in this world, but at least if you can find a way to get in a peaceful mind state between you and God and just yourself, you'll be able to knock down the war. But I understand how people just give into the war, because sometimes this raging, the bullets be firing down on you. But the real thing you have to worry about is that God has you in spite of what you're going through. The bullets could be raining down. If you keep that connection with God, He'll put peace in your mind and heart in the toughest situations. I'm talking about financial, spiritual, physical, mental. So
It's interesting. You brought it all together when you said you talked about the physical part of it. But one of the key things is to understand we're a spirit as well. There's a spiritual warfare going on too, so you need to know what the enemy is in the spirit, which we call him Satan. And a lot of people, because you can't see him, you don't pay no attention. But the bottom line is, once you recognize who he is, and then it's a spirit, then you got to connect to God. That's why our message is always centered around giving your life, accepting Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. So the Spirit of God will connect with you. And once that happens, then the peace that Pat Brady talking about it comes from God. And that's all through His Word. So the bottom line is the peace we talking about is that peace that only God can give. So that's why it's important you get connected.
it's that simple. We just keep reiterating the same message in a different way, but that's the point. You feel me? You want it to get stuck in your brain. You got to get connected in the best way you can, because you can't be lollygagging out here in the war zone. You feel me? That's how you get your head knocked off, literally. And God allow you to do what you're gonna do. But if you really, like you said, you want that true peace, go to God first, and then you'll see how every other aspect of your life gets more peaceful. Every aspect of your life, relationship problems, family problems, job problems. If you just give it to God and just go through His instruction, and like you said, don't see it as a problem. Like He said something about spirits too. It's spiritual warfare too. So it's things you can't even see that you're fighting against. So you definitely need that extra backing of God, because He can help you fight those things that you can't even see, that you don't even know that you're fighting. And trust me, it can come in a form of any type of spirit, can come in any form. It can come as a beautiful girl, a handsome man, a new opportunity. You don't even see the spirits behind it. You feel me? And then you end up getting yourself into a war, a spiritual warfare, thinking that you know what you're doing, man. So gotta follow God's instruction, man. Find peace in the midst of war. You did.
Yeah, the subject for the day, for the week, or for the time that you actually review this video. You know, it's interesting how God put it on Pat Brady's heart to talk about peace and put it on my mind at the same time. And we don't discuss what God put on our mind. We just come to the table and expect God to work through us while He's working on us. And it's just a blessing that we're on the same page. But listen, the subject for the week is what I had: God's peace comes with power. Isaiah 26, this is the book in the Bible of Isaiah 26, verse 3. God will keep you in perfect and constant, hear that key word, constant peace. Those whose mind is steadfast, it is up. Those whose mind is steadfast, that is, committed and focused on God, which is His word. Because we trust and take refuge in God. We back up. God give you the peace. We learn how to trust Him. That's where the peace come in. And we have confidence and expectations that this peace that we talking about, this peace and power we're going to have, is going to be continuous because of the connection we have with God. Goes back to what I said in that other just a little while ago. But in order to get that, it's mandatory, crucial, that you surrender and submit your life to Christ, which we call getting saved, to make this connection, to get this benefit. Listen to this briefly. The peace we talk about, you have when you sin, when you begin to think more about your feelings and what's going on than what God thinks. We're talking about peace. In other words, I'm going to say it like this. In other words, a peace of mind God gives empowers our mind to take the worst situation and make it the best situation. It's power of peace.
No, for sure. It's definitely power and peace, man. Kind of two levels of that too, just power and peace. Like it's a power in the peace of God. Because if you, like I said, you have peace and you're untethered in the most toughest situations, that's really can lead people to see that God is real and is deeper than just you saying it. It's really what you put off, like how you carry yourself. So it's like, say for instance, you go to the boss of your company, and the boss of your company, you tell them everything going wrong with your company, and they tell you, man, I don't know what to do, man. Well, yeah, I don't know what to do. What should we do? You be like, what type of boss is this that in a stressful situation, I'm coming to you for peace and they're not even peaceful? You feel me? Instead of having a boss that hears what you saying and be like, man, so it's a lot's going on. Man, I appreciate you letting me know that, man. Let's figure out a plan. That's what the true peace comes on the inside, when you're untethered, even in the most stressful situations. You know how to make good decisions. And that's most of the time when you make the worst decisions, when you're not in a peaceful state. You're 1,000% guaranteed to make an abrupt, chaotic decision when you're not in a peaceful state. So, getting to that peaceful state, example for me, I pray every day. I make sure I connect to God, get some God in me, get that connection, get that instruction each day. And then once I pray, that makes it easier to meditate. Meditating and relaxing feels amazing because I didn't connect it. You feel me? Because I didn't already got to the real source of peace, which is God. So when you try to skip all those other things before you go to God's way of peace, you kind of just gonna just keep kind of just thinking you're okay, but you're not gonna really be okay. You like, why can't I just be peaceful in tough situations when my back is against the wall? Why can't I just be peaceful? I go to therapy. I go hiking. I go on vacation every week. I go out. I go do stuff with friends. I'm social. Why do I don't have this peace? Because it's spiritual. Your spirit ain't at peace. You feel me? And the way your spirit, your mind, your soul gets at peace, connecting with God, of course, following his instruction, of course, and then being that example of what you God leading you, his instruction, being the example of the instruction he gave you. Because I could be going through 1,000 things and you'll never know. Not it's between me and God and people, personally in your life. But peace is power. And it's gonna make a lot of people, evil spirits, mad. The devil gonna be terrified, pissed that you really have control of peace in this through God. It's going to make them mad. So you're going to see more things come your way. But the more things come your way, consider them challenges and opportunities. It's a challenge and an opportunity to show that God is real, number one, through this peace how I'm rocking. And to show that, even as human beings, man, peace is power. You did. Peace is power. It'll take you a long way being peaceful.
Just real quickly. So, pursue God's peace. Peace with yourself and you'll get as well. And peace with other people.
Yep. Pursue that peace with God, and then it'll just trickle down. You know what I'm saying? But you got to pursue it, though. It goes back to our other video. You got to be a part of your own rescue. If you drowning and you choose to drown, that was your choice. You feel me? Free will. But if you really want to elevate to the next level and show other people how you elevated to the next level, follow God's instruction and connect to God and see how much real peace you really get, even in the toughest situations. Last subject of the week, and for whenever you watching this video, this is the subject, and it is why God allows certain things to happen to you for you to pay attention. Now, I am just like every human part of the hard head committee. When you don't work on yourself internally, you can become a very selfish person and not really understand, where God's taking you, because you really want it to be for you. You really want everything to work out in your way. And you can still go to God sometimes, pray for certain things, and you still don't appreciate it. And God will just be doing things where you need to pay attention and you just ignore them. Just flat out ignore them. And then in the end, it's not even a consequence you pay. It's the lesson you got to learn at the end. And you could have already learned it a little bit earlier if you were paying attention. When I say paying attention, if you pray and ask God for specific things that you know is something that's unpeaceful on the inside of you or is something off about, he'll let you know. But most of the time, a lot of people want to make their own story and path. As much as they say, I trust God and I believe in God, he gonna make sure this all right, you still worry like you don't trust him. I give you an example, right? You didn't even get paid yet and you already calculate how much you're gonna make. You feel me? Instead of just being like, man, I just trust God. I just know I'm working, doing my thing, man. However it's gonna go, when it's gonna go. When you want your own lane, when that check is 1 cent less, you like, how this didn't go how I was supposed to go? I knew this wasn't going, like I knew, and you're not in control of that. And God will do something like that to get your attention and say, hey, stop trying to do your own thing. Pay attention to me. And a lot of times, 10, 9.5 out of 10, people still ignore it. You're gonna ignore it for the good feeling, the feeling of just the everything is okay right now. A lot of people have attachment issues. That's why you need to attach to God and Jesus Christ, because it's a lot of attachment issues out here. And you like, man, I need to do this to make me feel good. And God's literally allowing you to feel no peace. And you're dealing with this situation and you know it's no peace coming from it at all. You literally don't feel good every day dealing with a situation. That's God trying to get your attention. But selfish means can, go by selfish bounds. But all I'm gonna tell y'all is this, to get right to it, is please pay attention to where God is actually leading you in your life and the signs he's giving to you. And be very direct when you really want to understand what's going on. Don't try to soft foot around it. You know what you need to ask. You know what you need to go to him for. You know what the issue is with you. Stop trying to sugarcoat it and go directly to God and say, man, what is happening? What's going on? I guarantee you 1,000% he gonna tell you. And then once you see to let you know, then you'll realize, dang, all those times that I was not feeling good, God was just trying to get my attention, man. But yeah, God does certain things to get your attention. You just gotta pray, connect, and connect, and you'll know exactly what he's trying to show you. What you think about that?
Yeah, the bottom line is God wants all the glory. He wants to be recognized for being in your life, my life, all nationalities, lives, everybody. So situations, like he said, like Pat Brady said, when situations around that make you uncomfortable, it's an opportunity for God to actually be recognized in the situation. Mm. And once you realize that, because you connected to him, you will understand that. He will let you know, hey, look, I give you anything you want, especially what you need, but I want all the glory. Mm. But in order to understand that, you got to be connected. And then let's stick to the point. So the bottom line is, I want to read this. Behold, this is Jeremiah 32:27. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too difficult for me? Mm. He wants you, he uses some situations to say, hey, I can handle it. I can handle it. He says anything too big for him. Listen, God will give you strength for every battle, wisdom for every decision, and peace of mind while in the battle. Mm.
Peace of mind while you're in the battle. What we just been talking about this whole video. Because he's going to get your attention. You just got to pay attention. And then you can have that peace again because you're paying attention. You know, in these situations when I actually listen to God, not to cut you off, when I actually listened to what God was telling me, how peaceful I was afterwards. Like really peaceful. Like the noise is gone, the thoughts is gone. Actual peace. You gotta connect to God, man. I'm telling you, it's just no way around it. And you'll be able to see who's really connecting to God and who's not. Because you'll see if they're really peaceful or not. You know somebody who's really at peace. It's the way you live. It's a lifestyle, baby. But when they're really not at peace, you'll really be able to tell. And if they don't have a connection with God, you'll really be able to tell. Really be able to tell. So that's why you live the best way you can to represent God and Jesus Christ, the way you can emit that energy to show people, hey, man, I'm not perfect, but I follow where God taking me and things been pretty great over here,
I gotta say this. In so many levels of peace. Once you get the peace with God, then you receive peace with yourself. And then the peer pressure disappears. Especially when you got peace with yourself.
Peace with yourself, because if you have peace with yourself, you respect yourself. And above yourself, you should respect God, Jesus Christ. So if you respect what they saying, what they do, the respect for yourself is going to be here. Your value here, peace here. You be like, man, I'm on this plateau of peace and love. And even though things happening around me, I'm gonna still be able to stick in the battle. So you need God's word, you need God's instruction, you need God's connection spiritually, physically, mentally, all around.
And on that note, in closing, our desire, which is God's desire, that everybody have a better relationship with Him, be it you connected or disconnected.
Have a better relationship with God. But if y'all haven't already, man, please subscribe to the Personal Touch Show. We appreciate if you made this far into the video. Please smash the like button, man. Show us love. Share this video to a loved one, family, friends, your teacher. Everybody needs this message that God's put in our heart to give to the world. Really, the instruction of God, man. So, Pat Brady, Yoda here. We're out, man. We'll see y'all next time.